Okay, this is the Game is On 100 here with my review video. And this review video is the Chicago Bears Detroit Lions game that just got done. Let's get started. The Chicago Bears whooped that ass of the Detroit Lions. It wasn't the Bears offense that didn't get the job done today. It was the Bears defense and special teams. Today, it was the Bears defense that made the Bears win the game. The Bears just dominated the Detroit Lions on all aspects of the game. They contained Calvin Johnson for not giving up a touchdown for Calvin Johnson. Charles Tillman did a pretty good job of Calvin Johnson today. It was a good sight to see. And what do we see from the Detroit Lions today? They turned the ball over 6 times. Matt Stafford threw 4 interceptions. 2 of those were pick sixes for touchdowns. And along with also 2 forced fumbles on their first 2 possessions of the game. The Bears just dominated you, Detroit Lions. Now you guys thought you were the top shit. You guys are all happy because you guys are 5-0. And now what? What is your record right now? You are 1-3 over the last 4 games. The only win came against the sappy Denver Broncos. And we know the Denver Broncos ain't shit. Denver Broncos is a no team of a team that is in NFL right now. You guys whooped the Denver team. You know, it's just that Denver sucks. You guys just capitalized on them. That was it. Well, anywho, the Bears today on their offense, the Bears were so-so on offense today. Jay Cutler didn't have a really good game. He was only 9-19 for 123 yards. He didn't throw no touchdowns or no interceptions. But when you have your defense playing like that, who gives a shit? You know, the offense did whatever it needed to do to win the game. Matt Forte, he was below 100 yards from a line of scrimmage, and I don't know how many weeks now. He only got a total 67 total yards from scrimmage today. He only had 18 rushes for 64 yards. Mary Barber came in late. He added 13 carries for 27 yards. Jay Cutler had 4 carries for 18 yards as well. Receiving wise, Earl Bennett was huge for the Bears again on 3rd downs. The Bears just literally took care of the ball.
Earl Bennett, he had 6 receptions for 81 yards today. That's pretty good. All the other ones only had 1 catch, you know. Only had 3 other catches. Sam Hurd caught 1, Johnny Knox caught 1, and Matt Forte caught 1. The only turnover that the Bears had was on a Jay Cutler fumble. The Bears only had 1 turnover, so they were +5 today. Robbie Gould was good as gold. He was 3 of 4 on field goals. For this long was a 50-yarder. Robbie Gould missed that 1 field goal going in at halftime, but he shanked it. He pulled it right. That was alright. Special teams. Devin Hester had another punt return for a touchdown, so now he has 17 punter kick touchdowns. Actually, make that 18 now. That's including the missed 108-yard field goal as well that they don't count. So Devin Hester is still continuing his streak of
of getting a kick return, punt return touchdowns. The defense was excellent today. Tim Jennings led the way for the Bears with 9 tackles. Urlacher had 8, Brates had 7, Tillman had 5. All the other ones either had a 3 to 1 tackles apiece. So, and on the Detroit Lions, Matt Stafford threw the ball 63 damn times. He was 33 of 63 for 329 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had the 4 picks. That late touchdown throw was late in the game. I noticed that some of the Bears starters weren't out there, so I could see why that we're giving up that 1 touchdown. The Bears were able to at least shut down somewhat of the running game a little bit. They only ran the ball 19 attempts. They ran the ball 19 times and they threw 63 times. Of course, when you throw the ball 63 times, it means you guys are really trailing in the game. The only receiving-wise was there was Nate Burleson. He had 8 catches for 83 yards. Calvin Johnson had 7 catches for 81 yards, but he had no touchdowns. So basically, the Giants, the Detroit Lions are who we thought they were. Now you gotta look at this Detroit Lions team and say to yourself, you guys were 5-0 team. Now you guys are 1-3 over the last 4 games. Your only win came against the lowly Denver Broncos. You guys lost to the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons back-to-back weeks. So roughly how it's going to be is just Detroit. You just got your asses whooped today. There's no doubt about it, you guys got your asses whooped. And there was only a couple people that were picking the Bears today in this game. But otherwise, all the other people were taking the Detroit Lions over the Chicago Bears because of what happened in Week 5. Well, that was back in Week 5. That was like a month ago. The Bears are a totally different team right now than they were in Week 5. One other nugget: the Bears only gave up 1 sack on Cutler today. Well, what can you say? You cannot, oh well, they only gave up 1 sack, so I'm not real happy with that, but, you know, that's how it is. So now, Detroit Lions, now you're going to be having a tough 2 out of your 3 games. Next week, you will have to play the Carolina Panthers. And then you guys get to play the Green Bay Packers. And then you get to play the New Orleans Saints. So you guys, you Detroit Lions, could be at the 500 mark over the next few games. Because you're going to have a tough test against the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. You guys are going to have a tough test ahead of you. You guys got a little bit more of a tougher schedule than what the Bears has right now. See, the Bears starting next week, they start their AFC West swing. You know, and the AFC West doesn't look too diminishing in the aspect of that division. So the Bears can basically, they can win all 4 they can possibly win all 4 games against the AFC West. You know, it's a possibility, it can happen. But otherwise, this was just an ass whooping of a game by Detroit. Detroit, what can I say? You guys thought you were the top shit back in Week 5, and now look at you. Look at you now. You guys going to be just like what you guys were back in the 2007 season? Huh? When you started off the season at 6-2, and what happened? You lost 6 out of your last 8 games. And you finished the record 8-8. And that Jon Kitna, when he was your quarterback, he predicted that the Detroit Lions was going to win 10 games. And that didn't happen. So now you got to look at that now, since the Detroit Lions, I know they got they're in the wild card spot right now. As of right now. But if somehow, some way, if the Detroit Lions doesn't make it into the playoffs, if they somehow cannot get in, the only difference is that if the Atlanta Falcons has a shot to get into the playoffs, and let's just say that the Dallas Cowboys are in position to get into the playoffs, well, the Dallas Cowboys doesn't have the tiebreaker over the Detroit Lions. The Atlanta Falcons has the tiebreaker over the Detroit Lions. So it comes down to the end of the week, and let's just say that Atlanta Falcons and Detroit are tied for the last wild card spot. The team that will get in would be the Atlanta Falcons because they hold the tiebreaker over the Detroit Lions. So Detroit, you might not make a chance to make it to the playoffs now, because the Bears are in a good shape right now. They hold the tiebreakers over Tampa, Philadelphia, Atlanta. They got the tiebreakers over those 3 teams. So the Bears are looking in good shape right now. So anywho, this video went on longer than I thought, but I wanted to gloat a little bit, which I am gloating that we just whooped your ass. I knew we were going to kick your candy asses. I knew we were going to win this game. I knew without a shadow of a doubt we were going to win this game. So, Detroit Lions, I just got one thing to say to you. I will post my preview video of the game for next week later on in the week for the Chicago Bears San Diego game. You guys can be expecting that video later on in the week. So this is the Game Is On 100. Bear down. I am out. Later.